Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jocelyn for those of you who are new here. And today, I think it's another makeup motivation day, you know? So we're gonna be talking about my philosophy on like the individual, I guess you could say. But first I gotta put on some basics here. Trying to learn how to make stuff concise. We'll see how well that goes, but you're along for the journey. Primer. Put a little bit everywhere and then go in and rub it in so you don't waste a ton of stuff getting it all over your hands. I probably should be using something else to rub it in, but it's okay. This one is really nice because it's like a pore filler a little bit, and it makes your fingers feel really soft and smooth afterwards. Ugh. Foundation. Something I learned recently. The reason you wet these guys, the like foundation sponges, is so that your product doesn't absorb into the sponge, and also it like lasts longer because it doesn't absorb into the sponge. It's easier to clean. So why is the individual important, Jocelyn? Why do you think it's so important that individuals be taken accounted for and be looked at with respect? First of all, everybody is deserving of respect. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, you are deserving of respect. Not everybody treats everybody that way, and over time a lot of people start to just expect to be treated not well, and that's really sad. But you know why you deserve to be treated with respect? Because without you, whatever your job is wouldn't get done. And you can say, oh, but they can easily replace me. I'm a cog in the capitalist machine. There is no point for me being here except for to fill that role. If you look at it from the perspective of the capitalist machine and you only count your role as a human being to fill that need, then yes, you are a cog in the machine. But we are not only filling one role. Throughout our lives, we fill many roles. I think it's in Hinduism, they believe you get through different life stages, and each life stage you kind of have different roles. I.e., when you're a child, your role is to learn and to grow and to become a better human being. When you become like a young adult, your role, and this is Hinduism, and these roles are not necessarily accurate to everyone's lifestyle stuff, but this is a general idea of what I'm talking about. When you're a young individual, your goal is to like get a family together and basically grow your community that way and kind of involve yourself in your community. When you're like a middling adult, your role is to basically make money and help the next generation learn and grow from there. And when you become older, so like grandparent range and everything, then your role changes from being like a member of society to kind of finding spiritual enlightenment. And that is what I remember Hinduism roles kind of be like life stage roles being. In Indian culture, family is really important, which makes sense then why most of their spiritual journeys would involve growing and developing family. In America, we see that family doesn't really hold as much emphasis. These aspects of society are typically to do with buying and selling goods, stimulating the economy, and again, look at individuals as cogs of the machine. But the people in our life would say that we are not a cog and we cannot be as easily replaced as other things. This holds true if you think about people who you've lost in your life and how much their absence has affected you. Got my blush, got my contour. I gotta get better at telling you what I'm doing while I'm doing it. I've got a little palette here with a blush that's really neutral. I don't remember what the shade is called. I keep putting it down as strawberry cream, but I don't think it is. But it's a Mary Kay blush. So if you've ever had somebody in your life who has passed on, you know that the pain of them not being there and not being able to talk to them or rely on them and them just kind of not being present anymore can be really difficult to bear. Well, that's not what would happen if a cog was broken, right? If a cog was taken out of a machine, you put another one in. It might be a different color, but it doesn't affect the machine. But the thing is, when you take a human out of their environment, then it does affect the people around them. It changes a lot of things. If they were in a workplace, it might change the culture of the workplace. If they're a parent, it'll change the lives of the kids, of the spouse. Thinking of us just as cogs isn't effective. Individual is important, while also knowing that the individual is part of a larger mechanism. We are part of a greater community, but that does not take away from the fact that we as individuals are important for interacting with our community and making it better. Highlight. Love eyeshadow palettes as highlight. Luminous is kind of like a bronzy one. I'm gonna also kind of use it. Oh, that's a lot. I might have to blend that. Ooh. Okay. It's effective, but it's too effective. There's a reason you don't use all colors of eyeshadow as a highlight. Let's see if I can. That just looks like a lot of blush. Mixing it with Kaleidoscope, which is a pink shade. The reason I'm telling you guys all of this is because I think that you, over there on the other side of the screen, are not understanding your worth to other people very well. That makes me sad. You think you're a cog, you think you can be replaced, and you think no one cares. And that's just not true. So I'm here to tell you today that that is an incorrect thought. You are worthwhile, and just because you have that thought does not make you a bad person. A lot of people go through rough times where they think things that aren't true. We gotta recognize the truth and start to recognize what intrusive thoughts are trying to tell us. Intrusive thoughts are not always right. And you are a beautiful human being who deserves to feel good about yourself and good about your place in the world around you. That's just my take on it, though. This is my philosophy on it. If you want to disagree with me, I would love to see you try. Because I don't think you understand how angry it makes me to hear that you don't think that you're worthwhile. To think that you're not good enough or you're not loved, because it's not true. There are people who might be making you feel that way, but that's not everyone. And the quiet people who aren't saying anything right now doesn't mean that they don't love you. They might be going through their own stuff right now. But please take a minute to understand your worth. You're not just a cog in the machine. I'm gonna use the Naked palette, the Urban Decay Naked palette, and also the Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette, because I'm not buying new makeup during this time. I'm just not. I've had the Naked palette was like the first fancy palette that I bought. It's pretty good quality, but I haven't used it in a while because I got colorful palettes. Oh no, my nose. Oh, I hate allergies. I only need this to stay on my face as long as this video is going. Okay, let's get some Vile Serpent up in here. I've not used this color very much. I promise it looked sort of even when I put it on. Another thing that you should think about next time you think you're a cog in the machine, is a cog does the same job every day, day in, day out, and does it the same way every single time. Humans cannot be cogs. We do things differently. We don't always cut our makeup right when we try and use concealer to clean it up because we said it was a tip and then we never actually did it last time, right? That did not help. My point is, though, we do things differently, right? We don't stay in the same patterns. We're not so good at doing things right perfectly every time. But we create really cool things because we can make stuff out of the mistake, because we can cognitively think about that. Wow. Realized how much more lid overhang I have on this side than I do on this side. Gives some underneath. Not gonna worry about how clean it is. Gotta go back in, I gotta fix again. That's what we do. We fix. We go back in, we edit stuff. We work together to make things fun. We love each other. We don't always tell each other that we love each other, but we love each other. And sometimes we don't recognize how much other people love us. And there is nothing that an outside person can do to make someone realize how much they're loved. That comes from the inside. But my small nap who thinks that they're just a cog in the machine. You are not half-baked. That's the color. You are not unimportant. And you are not only a cog in the capitalist machine. And if you don't believe me, try telling everything that you tell yourself to someone you deeply care about. All those negative things, try telling that to somebody else and see if you actually believe it. Go ahead, do it. I'm waiting. Forgot how few mattes were in this palette. Oh well. We're gonna use Smog. Telling yourself negative things takes practice, just like telling yourself good things takes practice. What do you want to put the energy into? Continuing to put yourself down and tell yourself that you're not good enough because somebody in 2nd grade told you you drew horses like crap? Screw that person. They were probably insecure about their own horse drawings, and they don't deserve to run your life now. They don't. Go in with some Naked to kind of buff it out a little bit. Ooh. A lot of fallout there. And I'm going to use some Sworn Enemy in my corner. In a corner, gonna look fine. Oh, I forgot how crumbly Sworn Enemy is. Maybe I should use my finger instead. Here's another thing. If your method of positive self-talk isn't working, try a new method. It's okay to use things that others might see as a little bit crude, or like we might have better tools for that, but it's what works for you. Same as in makeup, same as in life. There we go. You're a glowing snake goddess now. I don't want to hear anything else. After I spent all that time trying to get that line right, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to go with Dungeon. Let's pop on some Rimmel London Scandal Eyes Waterproof Gel Pencil in deep blue. Pop it in that waterline. The thing is, you're allowed to have off days. You're allowed to occasionally wonder about your worth. But you are not allowed to keep degrading yourself thinking that you are not worth anything. Why are you doing that? Some of you may have medical conditions that make it harder to stay on the right track and be positive to yourself. That's okay. You know, we're not all perfect. We're not cogs in the machine, right? We have imperfections. But I encourage you, if you do have a lot of those days, if you're not talking to someone, seeing someone who can help you through that, figure out a solution that works for you to get you through that, because it's important. Because again, you're not a cog in a machine. You are a very important puzzle piece that's different and unique. And just because you can jam another puzzle piece in there doesn't mean it's going to fill the same spot that you're in, right? Doesn't mean that it's going to make the same picture look as gorgeous as it does when you're there. My Clinique eyeliner. The interwebs taught me a trick for hooded eyes to try and avoid the smiley face. You hook it, and then when you're in your neutral face, it looks like it's connected. But the hook also doesn't make it look as weird when you raise your eyebrows. It just looks kind of fancy. If you don't feel beautiful without makeup, just remember, makeup only accentuates what you have. Whatever you're popping out because you like, you have that. Whatever you're doing to make yourself feel good, it is naturally there inside of you. Makeup just makes it a little clearer. Mascara. And just remember, I redid this eye like 3 times with the green, and now the green isn't even the main focus. Sometimes the things that we think are really, really important and we base a lot of our worth on and we get really frustrated when we're not getting right is part of the whole picture, but isn't the main element. That's okay too. Because I don't have a good brown lip, I have a brown body pencil from Wet n Wild. It is a multi-stick, so I am assuming that means I can use it on my lips. And to be real, I'm going to put a mask on anyway, and so I'm probably going to have to take this off later anyway. But Take a brown lip pencil thingy or a lipstick. Remember, your lips don't end where the color ends, and sharp lines always make it look better than if you kind of have fuzzy lines. I'm gonna pop some LA Colors Holographic Iridescent Lip Gloss in shade Gold Rush over top, because I'm feeling extra today. You're a beautiful human being, and I wish that you could see that. So you deserve to feel nice and happy every now and then. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you back here next Thursday. That's when I post videos, every Thursday. So I look forward to seeing you then. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Comment on this video if you want to see me do any more makeup looks or what you want me to talk about. And when you hit that subscribe button, don't forget that notification bell. Go ahead and give it a little ding. Have a good day, Naps. Make it a good one, okay? You have that power. You are not a cog in the machine. You have the power.